Let's get back to the China example, because when the Prof spoke about that particular system that they have, he fears that we may not be able to replicate that particular system because of the particular success, given the democratic practice that we have. Can that be the case?
Let me again thank the Prof for his contribution, because like I said, though he's not happy with me, he entirely agrees with whatever I'm saying and everything. We're all just using different languages between a professor and a trader. But it's very simple. He said China was able to achieve that because of the discipline of their leadership. That comes to what I'm saying about issue of leadership. And he said because their leaders were disciplined, they were able to drive a disciplined followership. So that is just what I'm saying, that we need to get this right. You see, Chamberlain, let's not go back to the 80s, because people will say China per capita in the year 2000 was $990. So year 2000, that we were already fully democratic country. China was a signatory to Millennium Development Goals. Nigeria was a signatory to the same Millennium Development Goals, MDG, were signatory to it. China took this document, the way it was formulated, went back to China and domesticated it into their development agenda from local government to the national level, and followed it holistically for 15 years.
Could we have done that in a federal system?
It's the same system. They followed it aggressively. Like we said, they communicated it. So everybody believes in it. They communicated it. The issue of communication that he mentioned is critical. They communicated it. So if we say, Chamberlain, the only way we can come out of this problem is that we're going to drive from Lagos to Abuja. So every passenger in this vehicle knew where this vehicle is going. The driver is focused on getting there. So everybody believed in it. That was what China did. And that's why they were able to pull millions out of... Look at the number of people they pulled out of poverty. That is to wise our population.
Okay, but in terms of...
But within this period, instead of us pulling anybody out of poverty, about 60 million Nigerians were pushed into poverty.
But is it a problem if you look at the fact that one thing we've identified here is every 4 years we have to go to elections? But in China, we don't have that.
Said so.
No, because now...
No. Don't, I'm saying that is not a reason why you should... I said 1,000... Remember what I said?
Yeah, but...
990 per capita.
But we...
By now, okay, it's 8,000. So they've been able to achieve 1,000%.
All right, we'll come back to this, but let's go to break. We'll have to. We'll be back in a moment. Join us again. Welcome back. It's our concluding moments now with Mr. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State. Can any government fix the country in 4 years?
Well, what I said before is that we are not expecting 100% result. We are expecting 100% effort. And you can put down 100% effort in 1 year. This is like it's a destination. You're trying to drive from one point to the other. So you can say, well, we have changed. For example, if you say the poverty, number of people who live under poverty when I came in is 60 million. I should do every effort to make sure that in 4 years it doesn't go to 70 million. If they said, let me use this particular government, the debt was about 12 billion when it started. Today it's 22, and it's growing. They should be able to communicate. This is my 10 billion that I borrowed. I'm talking about dollars. Okay, trillion. If we talk about 12 trillion to 22 trillion, that is about 10 trillion added. If I should be able to say, this 10 trillion that I borrowed, this is what I invested it in, that is productive. Communicate it. People can see it. So you who is now driving this vehicle is moving in the right direction. People can see it. They can believe in it. What drives governance and what drives the economy is hope. So I know we are getting to a better place, and everybody will say, okay.
Because I asked that question, I mean, it's all published there. I remember in January 2015, former President Goodluck Jonathan did say no government can fix the country in 4 years. But if you say you expect 100% effort, it's a subjective call because there are several vagaries. In fact, the ARGP, in some of their fundamental principles, they identify that, yes, they know that the business environment, fuel, power, infrastructure, those are some of the constraints they say they wanted to address. But having identified that, isn't it clear that, look, they know where the challenge is, and some of the efforts that they put in, they expect results?
Those problems are visible to every Nigerian. It's known to every Nigerian. Even you, Chamberlain, know that. It's not a new problem. It's a problem that is there. It is, every year we're going to move, if we say power, we're going to add 500. That's 500, not 1,000. Don't go to 10,000. Everybody wants to see visibly that the drivers of this vehicle have moved from here to here. That's what he's talking about when he's talking about discipline of the Chinese. Go and look at the growth of the Chinese. Look at the percentage compared to the percentage of growth of their population. So what we need, as we approach election, that people with capacity to drive this vehicle called Nigeria.
We need to go. And speaking of elections, I keep saying this, I don't know, it refuses to go away. Are you going for the role of a vice president in the next elections?
My dear, my job and what I do today is to let's fix Nigeria.
Are you going back to seek elective position in any capacity?
There's no way. That is it. It's only those who are contesting for president that are contesting. They are the candidates. Any candidate can choose to work with anybody.
You won't be willing to offer your services to fix Nigeria?
Chamberlain, what is important for me is that we get a better Nigeria. That will start pulling this number of people that are said in poverty. Remember, they said India is second with 73 million. That is 5% of India. In our own case, it's 5% of Nigerians. And it's getting bad every day.
So the answer will be,
let's focus on governance. Let's focus on the people. What we've done is that we've abandoned governance. And I'll give you one example of what happened in August, just August. Nine Nigerian youth couples were drowned in Taraba. It wasn't the headline news. It wasn't news everywhere. We were busy talking about defections, this and that. But in Thailand, 11 children were trapped in a cave. That was the only discussion. Let's go back to the
It was actually in the news, and I do remember.
It was in the news, but it was not defection and everything.
We'll get to a point. All right, we need to anchor at that point. Mr. Peter B is the former governor of Anambra State. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Chamberlain, for having me.